If you ever wanted to see what Pokemon with guns would look like, here it is. In 2024, we have the totally unique idea Palworlds, which is where you get these cute creatures and you give them guns. There's more to the game, but that's the basic concept and it's what's pulling everybody in to play this game. To the game's credit, it starts off a little bit different than a standard Pokemon game. Because here you have to defeat the local wildlife, put them in your Pal Ball, and then get them to work for you. Wait. My journey into Pokemon Black and Blue would begin when I greeted a chicken and got them to join my ranks. From here, the real journey would begin. The goal was simple. Catch all the pals and make an epic base. Of course, I had to survive to achieve this goal. So like any logical person living in the wild, the first objective was to find a nice location to build this base, and completely and utterly disregard food, clothing, tools, safety, all of that stuff. Now, you might be thinking, isn't this an easy way to get killed? And to that I reply with, absolutely not. I see nothing wrong with this method, and it's definitely not going to lead to some untimely demises in this playthrough. Anyways, stop getting sidetracked with that. I've got a journey to explain. On this journey, our first night, alone and afraid, my friend and I discovered some other people. And like any gentleman would, we greeted them with our fists, taking their belongings and continuing the quest to find a nice place to build a base. There was no time to dilly-dally, and I needed to make as much progress as possible. So, in the daytime, I went to capture the most powerful pal in the universe. I caught a Raichu. I also forgot to mention that in the nighttime, I saw some sleeping Falks, which is pretty dope. Their name is amazing. There was also some boars that were being a little bit aggressive, so I taught them a lesson. Don't worry, the lesson was taught using friendly and instructive methods. Anyways, continuing on, in the morning we encountered a syndicate base, which was like the two guys that we greeted last night. To add insult to injury, my friend and I went to the syndicate base and liberated the captive and brought them on this magnificent journey as well. From here, we reached the promised land, a field of flowers and a nice cozy place to build a base. Unfortunately, it was also a dire howl spawn point. I saw no way that this could backfire on us, so the base building would commence. As a low level, I confidently and easily dispatched of all the foes without dying a single time. My friend somehow ended up being a higher level than me, which definitely wasn't a skill issue. It must be the host getting bonus XP or something. Yeah, that's it. It can't be anything like me dying a bunch, because, again, it's not a skill issue. I even had 3 pals looking at me when I first started the game, basking in my glory. And that doesn't happen to everybody that plays this game. Moving on. I recruited some deadly pals to help combat the wolf problem, and it worked splendidly. With the threat taken care of, it was now onwards to material gathering and some good old level grinding. Once the day was over, the wolves came to check up on us at night. Truly kind and gentle creatures they are. The following day would continue the journey where I would explore some more with my partner. The cutest thing I've ever seen. Look at this little yellow hedgehog. To not infringe on any copyright, just like Palworld evades and swerves all these copyright issues, I named him Sonic the Hedgehog. Something truly original. Sonic and I teamed up to peacefully evict more syndicate members from another base, as well as liberate the captives so that they could come and work with us. We even had help from some of the local wildlife while doing this, except for the wolf. He wasn't having it, and he ended up one-shotting me. The good news about that is that dying and picking up my items caused my inventory to double, which is a pretty cool glitch that I am not going to complain about. With the workforce increased, base building was going pretty smoothly. This little monkey guy wasn't monkeying around. The boar, on the other hand, that guy was a big slacker. But as my base got bigger, I couldn't help but think about the age-old saying. As the saying goes, there can only be one base in Palworld, so all syndicate bases have to go. Truly a classic quote that I live by every single day. A couple syndicate base attacks later led me to the discovery of a minigun and a flamethrower, which I easily dispatched of and proceeded on my journey. Further exploration led me to make some insanely low chance catches and bolster the workforce. From a green dinosaur to a bird, a freaking boss that was asleep that I just one-banged a ting and he was caught. The only thing that gave me more trouble than all of these big and epic creatures was a little tiny elephant who just refused to work for me for some reason. But after telling him that working with me would provide no benefits at all, he was eventually convinced. The journey led us to entering some desert, and I tried catching Anubis with my exceptionally high 0% catch rate, and to my surprise it didn't work. Anubis didn't like that and ended up doing some mega kick slam on the offender. My friend, obviously, because I did nothing wrong. Going deeper into the desert unprepared was a great idea. It led to some lovely things like heat stroke, which slowly kills the player, and there was also this Bowser creature. He also didn't like me attempting to recruit him for some odd reason, and then proceeded to unprovokedly attack my friend, knocking him down. But as every team-based player knows, when you gotta revive, you gotta commit to the revive. So that's exactly what I did and evaded his aggressive attack. Again, I'm not too sure why he did that in the first place. This journey would continue and eventually lead us to the ends of the earth, where two high-level enemies were battling it out. And, as an honorable Battle Royale player, I proceeded to third-party the winner. From here, we ended up catching a fish, a dinosaur, and some more pals. But there wasn't a single fast travel totem in sight, which, now that I think about it, I haven't mentioned this at all. A fast travel thing is just something that allows you to quickly traverse the map. Lost and with no idea on how to get back home without having to walk for 2 hours, we went into a dungeon. A dungeon is where you can fight an incredibly powerful enemy. The boss of this dungeon was a big boar. The same boar that I saw during the first 5 minutes of gameplay, so that was really exciting to see. At first, my friend and I weren't going to engage the boar, but upon discovering that they weren't subscribed, I had to teach them the same lesson that I taught the previous boar. After that battle was over, we found a totem and we could eventually return back home. Once we had returned to our base of peace and prosperity where the wolves had been gently kicked out of their homeland in order to make way for progress. My friend and I took a moment to look back at all we had accomplished and all the pals that we had managed to recruit. An adventure that lasted for 7 days and 7 nights. Which, now that I think about it, I could just say 7 days, because that's the same thing. Anyways, this journey was truly great, and looking at the pals, there was a lot of them that would be cool to saddle up and use as a mount in the future. But that's a story for another day. For now, we just had to sit back and think of all the good we did to this world. Okay, I'm trying to catch this bird right here. Alright. 999 explosion, damn it. Alright, there we go. Life's complete. Let's get it.